Any review of anti-Semitism and Holocaust denial in the last year involves, in the Arab and Muslim world, involves relating to a new phenomenon. The Arab and Muslim world includes the West, includes the Western Muslim communities. And what would then be the characteristics of the anti-Semitism and Holocaust denial in this extended Muslim world? We must first of all establish that most of the expressions of anti-Semitism are in the West. In the Arab and Muslim world, the old one, it's less because they are involved in a historic phase in which they have no time like they had in the past. And when they are immersed in their own tragedy, and there is anti-Semitism there, but it's addressed to non-Jews. As you have seen here, this strange phenomenon, anti-Semitism that is addressed to adversaries. The Jew remains the ultimate evil, but they would say, Sisi, his mother is a Moroccan Jew. Bardadi of ISIS, he is a Jew. His name is Shimon Ilut. Karadawi is painted with a peot and with a cap like a Jew. Everyone approaches his adversary, his enemy, as the ultimate evil, the Jew. But not much is left in this horrific battle that goes on in the Arab and Muslim world for approaching the Jews, the original Jews themselves. What you have seen, which looks to you a lot, is less than what you would have seen a year ago, actually a few years ago. Now, when we talk about the fact that it has switched or moved to the West, we must establish that Western European anti-Semitism is predominantly Islamic. In European countries, the identity of offenders is not mentioned, not their ethnicity, sometimes not exactly the name. But when it comes out somehow, you see that it is predominantly Islamic. There was a report in Norway about an attack on a Jew, and you can read the whole thing, and you would figure out it's some Norwegian that his ancestors were born there. But then at the end, you see pictures, and you immediately see where it comes from. It's mostly Islamic, sometimes affiliate to Islam, like the horrific phenomenon. Senator McCain came. I guess we can offer him the Senator, is your welcome to the event. Is your time available? Yes, I can? Okay.
This will be a good way to keep Yigal brief. Because
yes,
so eager to
yes, but I will rush it. So there is this affiliation to Islam by a gentleman is not the right word, like Dieudonné, who is not Muslim, but he is affiliated to Iran and involved with Iran in many ways, and his affiliation was primarily with Ahmadinejad, the previous president. So the star of anti-Semitism in the Muslim world is still Iran. As we sit here now, they have a yearly contest on cartoons about the Holocaust. And as you have seen here, the foreign minister, Muhammad Javad Zarif, which has starred in the last month as a very soft-spoken speaker in English, explaining the positions of Iran in many very nice ways. you see him speaking in his own majlis against those who try to present the Holocaust as something that really happened. It was a long speech which was basically denial of the Holocaust. So whether it is Ahmadinejad or as it is the soft-spoken Western Javad Zarif who goes wild in his own majlis, it is the same old rant about Holocaust denial. The speakers are, as usual, as you have seen, not people from the street. Each and every one has a title, has a status. I don't know if you managed to get it all. These are people who have a status in their society. And of course, as you have seen, very few, but exist courageous people. Today we have with us a guest, which is one of those courageous people who speak against these notions and preach for fraternity, understanding, and affiliation between the religions. The motives remain the same: Islamic, descendants of pigs and apes, which is in the Quran 3 times, the promise of the tree and the stone, which is the tradition that at the end of days all the Jews will be killed, and even nature itself will rise against them to tell the Muslims to come and kill them. There are the Western motifs, the protocols, the blood libel, demonizations, conspiracies, new thing that we hear today, who burned the Jordanian pilot, the Jews, but the encouraging phenomenon is that in the Arab and Muslim world, they are also not only attributing those crimes to Jews, but also condemning each other as Nazis. And that is something we might or should be happy of, that finally there is an admission that there were Nazis and that they committed crimes, and maybe later on they will realize that these crimes were primarily against Jews. I would finish with a very important note for MEMRI. You have seen in the previous set of videos the preachers in the West. Against most of them, measures have been taken in the countries in which they spoke, in Spain, in Italy, in Germany, and I think in all of them. There was such a preacher in Chicago, nothing was done against him. In Australia, action was taken against them. The understanding that words have consequences is beginning to get into the legal systems that doesn't ignore words as nothing. Every year we would put on the chairs the report of the year. This year, unfortunately, I apologize, we are not ready with it. Whoever wants to get it, you have forms outside. Fill the forms, you will get it by mail to your office. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Yigal, and thank you again for the truly unbelievable work that you do through MEMRI.